Welcome to the pod. My name is Jack John.
I'm Jack Velasquez, and this is Jackson the Pod. We're at week 18. We did it.
We made it. Made it to the
We,
end.
there was some highs, some very big lows, but overall, I think we have to be pretty you know proud of ourselves.
I mean, look what we could have done with this time. We could have run a marathon and been
Yeah,
losers.
yeah, we could have trained for a marathon and still not have won.
I
So
know.
why do that?
We did
Why
this
put our
instead. This is way
yeah,
better. This is
this
way
is way
better than the
better.
marathon.
Yeah, my knees feel great. I mean, I think I have hypertension now from all the stress of the bets, but I'm okay.
That's heart
I'll
health,
be all
and
right.
I'm a lot lighter in that my wallet is a lot lighter. Like there's no money,
Yeah,
no money coming in. So,
yeah,
so already hitting
S-
my New Year's resolutions of losing weight.
yeah. There you go. Starting with my wallet first, and then I'll work towards the belly. Yeah, man, we did it. Week 18. We didn't look up the stats, but I know we did better from last week. We ended up both of us last week were 4-1. So I think overall we definitely have a winning record. Even if we go 0-5, I think this week we end up in winning the record. So that's pretty good
Oh,
for our first time.
well, I can pull it up.
All right. Well, as you pull that up, yeah, we went 4-1, and things went well for us. All right. So overall,
So
let's see what we got.
first, looking at the weekly in-season standings for this is the last 3 week contest. Nilly Willy is 10-0 along with Lucky
Wow.
Zebra.
Damn.
So I don't know if we have any chance on that, but we are exactly even on this one because we are 7-3. Gridiron Gauchos, Jackson the Box,
There he is, 7-3 over the last 3 weeks. That's pretty good.
and then Gridiron Gauchos is somewhere there. But yeah, that's where we're at. So we're a little down. I need a miracle to win it, but not out
Yeah,
of it.
not
And
out of it.
and then here we go. This is the full season standings. I'm at 45, 39, and 1. And you are at that's Gridiron Gambling. You're beating his ass. Eric Gaucho's 44, 38, and 3.
Yeah. So we're still tied overall with both with that 45 and a half points.
Not still doing
And
well.
yeah, and even like I said, if you went Jack John, you have a winning record overall. You are 45 and 39, so you're 6 games better, and so am I at 6 games better. So even if we went 0-5 this week, we end up with a winning record. I mean, that's pretty good.
He can't even screw us now.
Oh man, I'm so
I
proud of
don't think we're
us.
going to capture Myers Landscaping though at 57-26. And
No, and I mean that's not too bad though. We're only what 13 games off over 18 weeks. That's, a game a week, which I mean, it's not too bad for the first time. Just kind of I mean, there were definitely weeks where I was just like, I don't know. And I just kind of went against you, which worked out for me. But
stupid jagoff thing. That was a stat. That's not a stat.
we need to have somebody go back and watch each podcast and find out the jack off picks and then write down okay, Jack's 1-0, 4-0, and just figure out how many of my wins actually came
We should publish that stat and be like, this is the best gambling stat out there.
from
This hits
that.
90% of the time.
If these guys go head to head, pick this guy. Oh man. All right. That's pretty good. Okay. So like I said, we finished 4-1 last week, both of us. Jack John did win the jack off pick uh Christmas Day, as we covered last podcast, but we'll jump in to our five final picks of this NFL season, which has been a pretty good season overall, I think. We'll see how next year goes. And all right, well, I'll let you go ahead, Jack John, since this is your endeavor. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going with my first pick of the week, mid Saturday game. I'm going with my favorite. I've got a ride or die ticket, MVP ticket on this guy, Joe Burrow. I hope he wins it. I don't think there's even a chance. But you know what? I'm gonna go down with him, and I'm definitely gonna bet on him to win against the Steelers, getting 1.5 points.
Yep. Yep. I am right behind you on that. Again, this week was super hard because some teams are like trying to get a higher draft pick and some teams are in the playoffs and it doesn't matter. So I tried to focus on games that kind of mattered to both teams. This game is do or die for the Bengals, like you mentioned. They have to win this to even stay in playoff contention. They're on the road in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has lost, I think, three in a row, and pretty like big blowouts. They lost to the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Chiefs. And I think the Bengals are kind of up there with them in terms of like being good teams. So I'm going to take the Bengals 1.5 as well, on the road against the Steelers.
There we go. We're aligned on this one.
There you go. Starting off the week. Honestly, this typically does not work well for us.
But we already
So
established that we can't not finish with a winning record.
yeah, so who cares?
Come at us, Gary.
So yeah, we're coming at this, and maybe not. You never know. Maybe we'll go 5-0 together. All right, I'm going to go next for my pick, which will be my second pick. This has been my ride or die team um, this whole time, this whole NFL season. I love them, and I still feel like they keep getting undervalued each week. Last week they came through for me. I'm going to look at the Lions versus the Vikings. This is like to win um, the NFC North. The Lions have an awful defense, which is my only concern. Like they just give up a bunch of points. But I also kind of trust their home field advantage in this. -3, they've got a great kicker. I'm going to take the Lions at home, -3. Ride them from week one. I remember week one, I picked them to week 18. So let's go again. Lions -3.
It's a
Yeah.
jackpot. I'm on the Vikings. This is a team I should have been on more this season. I mean, they're one of the best teams against the spread. They look amazing. They're going against a beat up Lions defense. I don't even know who's left on the Lions defense, and they're getting 3 points.
Nobody.
I think they're going to win it and get the number one seed, and I think they're going to the Super Bowl. Let's go, Skull.
Wow. Yeah. See, like I thought of all of that. And then I was like, well, it's Sam Darnold. And again, I'm like, this is his first big game. I know the big game kind of last week, but they were at home against the Packers, and the Packers kind of came back there. I just think the Lions are so good on offense. So I have the Lions. Yeah. All right. Jack off pick the maybe the last of the year. I kind of had a good feeling when I was like looking at it. I was like, Jackson's going to go Vikings. I have to go Lions.
I know. And honestly, if we ever did stats on the jack-off picks, I want to know how many of those are actually Lions and how many times went against the Lions and just lost. I will admit, like, I did not have a feel for the Lions this year. For some reason, I just kept picking against them. But I don't know. That's just my
Yeah.
bias against Jared Goff, who,
Yeah. Well,
just seems like they're too good for him to lose it.
yeah. Oh, you know what? I might just do $100 on this game just for good measure, just to make some cash here in the new year. All right. So that was a jack off pick. All right. What's your third pick?
Okay. This team um is a team that, I've kind of felt a little weird about all year going against a team that I really like this year and still like. But I think this one of these teams is about to turn a pumpkin, the other team's about to turn into champion. It's Chiefs versus Broncos. I got the Chiefs getting 10.5 points. I know Mahomes isn't going to play this game. I don't think it matters. I think people are taking away from the fact of the Chiefs are a really good team, even without Mahomes. And their defense is amazing. And they're definitely going to keep the Broncos close. I think Bo Nix is going to fall apart. I love the kid. I just feel he's getting a little too big.
Ow. I have the Chiefs as well. Yeah. That's too wow. We're all in alignment
Is
on
this
these
really
games.
going to
Yeah.
come into one game? Is it going to decide who wins between us?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have to still determine that. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, I have the Chiefs 10.5. Same thing. Carson Wentz is the quarterback. Andy Reid, I think he'll help him out. And like you said, the defense overall. 10.5 is a lot of points.
I thought that was
Um,
crazy. I know like the Broncos need to win this to keep their season in, but the Chiefs stay close in every game. Uh Chiefs never allow anyone more than 30 points. And I think Andy Reid could score, at least 20 points in his sleep.
yeah. Yep. All right. Well, that was my third pick too. So Chiefs plus 10.5. All right. The next one I'm gonna do is a team that I've been picking all year long, and I hate this team with the pure passion. But again, once you see double digits, it's kind of like really. And they have something to play for. They have something to play for next year. I'm looking at the Bears versus the Packers. The Bears are getting 10 points at home, and I feel like that's just too many. Um, Too many points. The Packers don't really need to play for anything. They're kind of like locked into their seeding. No matter what, they can't get the 5 seed, and they can't drop to the 7 seed. So they might fool Jordan Love in the second half. Caleb Williams is a garbage time queen. I'm going to take him at plus 10.
I kind of regret I didn't see that one. I didn't focus on it just because I'm so sick of the Bears. I think they're just invisible to me now.
Yeah.
But they do cover at home. Like they are a better home team. But they're not a home team. They're away. That's why I didn't pick them.
I thought they were at home. Oh, you're right. They are away. Shit.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
now I'm like, no, yeah, they're awful. They're garbage away. That's
fuck. All
get
right.
away.
Well, screw it. I'm taking them.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's still a lot of points. There's still a good defense. Yeah.
Damn. Well, guys, I still believe in the Jordan Love not playing in the second half. Like
Yeah.
there's just no reason for them to play. Like they can't move up to the 5th seed and they can't move down to the 7th seed. So they're kind of locked in where they're at.
No, I agree. But also the Bears are a giant tire fire of the bottomless pit.
Yeah.
And when you're like,
No.
are they gonna make one first down this whole game on Sunday? We'd be like, oh
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So good luck
That's
with
my that that's my pick.
that. Good luck with that one. Uh, mm, uh,
Sorry,
I'll go.
I'm already up in the win column. I have a jack off pick this week, so I'm already up one, and I can kind of toss one away with the Bears.
Yeah. So this one, I haven't taken this team all year, but I like what they're doing right now. They still have to compete for it. I don't know. I don't think they're going to make it. I picked the Falcons, giving 8 to the Panthers. It's a lot of points, but the Panthers suck. Um, I think they fool a lot of people because they won a couple games this year, and they're like, "Oh, the Panthers are kind of good." No, they're not. It's just it's very hard to lose a lot of games in the NFL. Just parity. And Michael
Yeah,
Penix is really good. I watched Baker Mayfield rip them apart last week, and I think Falcons keep this thing rolling. Even if they don't make the playoffs, they look good for next year. Michael Penix, good looking guy.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's good looking football player, right? Or
Yeah, I mean both, but
both?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I'll take
Just
him
trying
either way.
just trying to clarify. It's 2025. You never know where this podcast is going. Yeah. No, that I think that's a safe pick. Um, yeah, because like I don't know, the Panthers are just kind of frisky. I thought that was kind of a sketchy pick last week, and that was like probably the easiest pick you had when you picked the
The Bucks.
Buccaneers versus
Yeah.
the Panthers. Yeah, so I think you got that. That's a good pick. Um, However, my next pick is one of those like doesn't matter games, but I'm gonna pick a team that I think is going to be tanking pretty hard in the second, like you know, for this game. I think that I'm looking at the Titans at home versus the Texans. Um, the Texans are favored by a point in this game, and I just feel like the Titans really want to lose this game. Um, they don't want they want a higher draft pick so that they can get rid of Will Levis, and nothing's better than getting the first pick. So if they lose, they're guaranteed a second pick in the draft. And if they win, there's a chance they fall like back down to like the 7th pick, and they won't get Cam Ward or Sanders. So I think they're going to lose this game and tank on purpose. And I think the Texans will eke this one out and pick them. I'm going to have Texans -1 on the road against the Titans.
Yeah, I just thought that was a weird game. I was like, why? I was like, even if the Texans rest everybody, they should still be favored by more against some awful Titans team.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Titans are just a weird team. They're a team I stayed away most of the year from, except for like one week I went big on them, and that was a horrible decision. Uh, so yeah, no, I want to stay away from all these teams. So good luck with that one. I had no idea
Yeah,
the game was going to go.
yeah, neither do I.
So that was your
All
last
right,
pick.
that
You
was my
made
last pick of the year. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
he picked he picked the Texans as your last pick of the year.
Yeah, yeah. But it does. Yeah. I just like I kept looking at all these other games, and I'm like, too high of a line or too tight of a line, and not knowing what the hell's going to happen. So, um,
No, I feel
yeah,
you.
I just don't know.
It's a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Um,
What's your last pick?
now I'm kind of mad I gave you shit about that being your last pick because my pick is a dog. Um, last pick of the year is a dog in a year where the underdogs have not won. I just feel like I have a read on this one because this is the type of game that this dog could win. They don't have any reason to win it, but they could just because it's a rivalry game in division. I got the Cowboys getting 4.5 against the Commanders at home. Jane Daniels is very
Wow,
good,
that's a good guy.
but I don't know if there's playoff implications for them if they could. I think they're locked in, right? The NFC's all.
I think they are, or maybe if I see, like, I'm still confused with the Commanders and the Packers. Like, so if the Packers lose and the Commanders win, does Commanders get the sixth seed now? I don't know. I'd have to
Either
look at that.
way, I like the Cowboys just because they have no real reason to be super tanking. I mean, like they're not going to get the number one pick. They've got a quarterback. They're just trying to get something. And I think a
Right.
lot of these guys are just going to be playing for one, they hate the Commanders division rivalry, and then two, let's let's show ourselves to Jerry Jones. Let's get some money this offseason.
Mm. Yeah. Well, actually, good pick. Now I'm not feeling good about any of my picks. I just looked it up. If the Redskins win, I'm gonna call them the Redskins
Yeah, you
because
can call him. Yeah,
yeah, if Washington wins, they actually get the sixth seed. And if they lose, they drop to the seventh. So there's a chance that they like avoid playing. Essentially, it's like the, the the Redskins and the Packers are avoiding playing the Eagles in the first round. That's what they're trying to avoid and get the Rams. So interesting.
yeah. I
Yeah,
like the Cowboys. Like for the Commanders to lose that game, get thrown down the seating, and then ruin their season because of that. I don't know. That's the most Commander storyline of all time.
yeah, yeah. No, that sounds about right. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Well, man, that's a
Bro, I
good
may
pick.
even take the Cowboys money line in that game.
Yeah, that's a good one. Wow, way to close it. That was a good pick.
So yeah, those are our picks. That's
That's it.
2024, 2025 super contest picks.
Wow, we did it. I'm so proud of us. There was never a chance of us to win any of the prizes. But hey, we didn't win
This is
anything,
the
but
week that we're the closest, and we're still so
that's true.
far.
Yeah, it's because there's so many like 9-0-1s
Yeah,
and 10-0s. So, but hey, I was just here to have fun, and I definitely had fun.
I had a blast.
Yeah. So that was great. Now we can, and then again, yeah. So we'll come back next week, right after the games have been played. We'll come back and we'll pick every game, every football game, and we'll still count it against each other for the playoffs.
You're already trying to cover your bad picks.
No, I'm confident. I think
Okay.
I'm gonna win this. I think I'm gonna win this whole thing. I mean, it really only comes down to two games. It's hopefully that the two games that I didn't
Yeah, it
pick
comes down to
against you.
the
Yeah.
Bears and the Titans.
Yeah. No,
The
Texans.
two,
I did the
oh,
Texans.
oh, you're doing the
Yeah.
Texans side.
Yeah. So I'm taking the Texans and the Bears. So those two
Okay.
teams better cover. Um, but like I said, I already have a game up on you with the Lions. So it doesn't matter. How great would that be if it came down? Because that's the last game too. So
Yeah,
like we're
it'd be
tied.
pretty
Like say
epic.
we come in tied to that last game, and it's like, wow, this game is like the the the, the jack off of all jack offs.
Do you even talk ever again after that game? I mean, do we just do we
I,
just say that's the end?
this is the end of our friendship and the end of the podcast. We survived one season. Wow, that could actually be like that's true, like poetry right there. Like if it really comes down to that last game,
That'd be something.
I'm I'm excited. Damn. I might just like change my picks to follow all of yours and just make that one. Like, actually, you know what? I take in the Cowboys, and I'm taking the Falcons and the Cowboys. And we're just gonna go down the
I mean,
line.
that'd be some true Price is Right like shit. Like that. Like let me
Yeah,
just change
like
my answer.
$1.
$1, Bob.
Oh man, that's so good. Ah, shit. I should have actually came in with that strategy.
You
Just
should have.
like,
You didn't think that one
just
out. You didn't think it out.
started tailing you. Damn it. Uh, all right. Well, that's it for week 18. Should we do our college football bets for next week? Is it
Yeah.
next week?
Oh yeah. Or
Yeah.
if you got anything good. Yeah. You got anything good?
No, I don't have anything good. I mean, Ohio State is favored -5.5, and Notre Dame is favored by 1.5. And no, there's been no upsets. Like there's been no like money line dog winning in this. So like,
Well, I mean, Notre
this,
Dame just won today.
well, they closed being the
Oh
favorite.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they flipped. Which I always was like, how is like when it first opened, I was like, how is Notre Dame an underdog? Like they have their quarterback and Georgia doesn't, which is weird. Um, but yeah, I like Notre Dame probably the most. I don't think Penn State's that good. Um, and I mean, like, yeah, Ohio State. I mean, just like Texas looked awful, so like they couldn't score. So we'll see what happens there. But
Yeah,
I like both favorites essentially.
yeah. I love Notre Dame. I got a lawn on Notre Dame. The only thing is, Penn State. I've been waiting to bet against them. I just been waiting for the opportunity, and here it is. James Franklin
Yeah,
game. This guy's gonna mess it up. Like this is like a big like this is almost like take Notre Dame by like extra points range.
right. Like buy it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Franklin will do something that's the dumbest move you've ever seen a coach do, and you're like, what? Um, no, so I don't know who. I mean, Texas did look bad. I mean, but Arizona State also looked great. Has a good defense, and plus Ohio State can always throw a stinker in there. Like they can look great and then just be like, oh God, they're awful.
Yeah.
And it isn't like I mean, Ohio State has great offensive players. It's not like I think they have the best quarterback in the world. And Texas at any moment could bring out the legend Arch Manning and just
That's
flip the
true.
script.
You do love Arch Manning.
I mean, he's good. Like he's a really good quarterback, and I don't know why Quinn Ewers is still in there. I mean, dude ruined my bet yesterday by making a insane fourth down touchdown throw, but whatever.
Yeah, he screwed you over both ways. Like he didn't cover your first bet,
No,
and then you live bet Arizona, and then he just screwed you over by completing that play.
he got me right in that middle spot of being at the wrong end of both sides, being right
Yeah,
in the middle of him, and I do not want to be in the middle of Quinn Ewers. I never want to see them again. I hope he doesn't make it to the NFL.
I don't think he will. I don't think any of these quarterbacks will. They all look awful.
Just harkening back to one of our privileged Westgate conversations, watching
Yeah,
the day there, and I was going through the screens and going, name one quarterback that's going to be on these teams next year, or who's better, or who's Shadur better than, and it's almost all of them. And he's not that good,
yeah, he's awful. Yeah,
but
I
he's
don't know.
better than Will Levis,
That's true. Yeah,
or well, I was going to say Caleb Williams, but that's still early.
dude, Caleb Williams is awful. I stand on that hill. Like they should have traded the pick. I can't believe they picked him. He like literally got worse in college, and they still picked him as the number one pick. I don't get it. He was getting worse, progressively worse in USC.
And progressively weirder. Like, what's the vibe in Chicago? Like, if you were to see Caleb Williams on the street, is anyone going to be like, "What's up, man?" Or are they going to be like, "Dude, get away"?
I think it's the latter. I don't think anyone's really into him. You don't really feel like he's a leader. So
Does he do like turkey drives around like Chicago? Like, are people like, "Oh, let me get a Caleb Williams jersey"?
I don't know. I've seen kids in Caleb Williams jerseys, but I think those were all bought and hype, and now they're being used as you know, like uh, lighter logs in everyone's fireplaces during this cold front. So I don't know. I don't think he's liked in here, but that might just be my own general bias.
Well, there you go. That's
Yeah.
that's
All
that's
right.
when people come to this pod for your general bias.
And that's what's happening on the streets of Chicago. All right. Well, there we go.
The year.
Week 18 in the books, and next week we will come back and one person will be happy and one person will be sad. Or something will happen where it doesn't matter and we end up tied again. Because we both go 3-2.
Never count out the fact that we could both lose. And with that, computers are dead. So have a good week.